Joey hit the lights, Bobby grabbed the mic. Chicken calling at you from the other side. Shock 3, going live. You're about to enter water, only shock survive. In 3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody, how you doing out there? We got Bobby Hilton here with
Chicken
and the great BJ Ussery coming to us live. Where you from? North Carolina, right?
Yeah, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Greensboro, North Carolina. Is Earl from around that area as well?
He is from here. I used to watch him play. Was growing up in the pool room.
Very nice, very nice. So, again, we got BJ Ussery here coming from North Carolina, professional pool player. Just came off a huge win over there in Virginia, the Bob Stocks Memorial. Great event. And, hey, thank you for joining us, BJ. Really appreciate having you on.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking me.
Yeah, so you've been flying a little bit under the radar. I know that the people down in your area are very familiar with your game. And why don't you tell us what got you started playing pool and how long have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing off and on for probably 25 years. My dad used to take me. He used to get us for visitation one time a week, and he would take me on Friday nights and let me play at the Brunswick Bowling Alley.
Yeah.
So we got to play for like an hour, and then, as a young man, you're trying to impress your dad. So that's what it came about. Then I found that you can make money playing in tournaments, which is like, wow. I can make money playing pool. That's unreal.
That's a no-brainer, right? No-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
How old were you when you started beating your dad?
Man, I was probably 17, 18.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good player in his own right, but eras change. So we're in a different era now, and these young guys now are really good at even earlier age.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that because you took care of a couple of these young bucks big time in this tournament. I mean, you had to knock off, I think, two of the United States top rising stars in Shane Wolford. And then right after that, you got to play Lucas Picasso-Werner, both 21, 22 years old. First of all, again, congratulations on that win. That was an amazing win. You played some fantastic pool. But let's talk a little bit about, like you said, the young bucks. You took care of Shane first. How did that match go? I know you started out behind, like it seems like you always do. You always down a little bit low, and then man, you come on.
Well, I have something about me where my nerves kick in at the beginning of sets. So I may have that backhand a little tight at the very beginning, and in winter break formats, that can hurt you, because a lot of times the newer guys, they don't get nervous till the end.
Yep.
I've been doing this a long time. I'm not nervous at the end. I'm nervous when it starts.
Yep.
And then when you march back a little bit, some of them, not all, they're trying not to lose instead of trying to win.
Yep.
That's a pretty good observation you're making. And
they're getting a little bit. They start to play defensive, trying not to lose games instead of trying to win like they were in the beginning.
They're not playing as loose. They tighten up a little bit, right?
Right.
I get you.
And you seem to actually come alive at that point. I mean, I think you were down 6-0 in one match, right? And then 8.
I was down. Thomas Haas had me 7-0 going to 9.
Wow.
Shane Wolford had me 8-3 going to 11, and Lucas had me 10-3 going to 13.
That's amazing.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that final? I mean, there's not too many people that could say they came back on Lucas up when he's up 10-3. What do you have to say about your strategy? Obviously, you don't have any quit in you. Very admirable quality in our sport. But tell us about that comeback that you made.
Well, in actuality, it's winter break. You know, both of us are breaking really well. He really surprised me at how good he was breaking in the format. And he just run out. I mean, I've had matches with him before. He just played really, really good. But I just knew that, hey, when I get my opportunity, as long as I don't have to push out too often, then it's not like I can't come back and win. I just got to take it one game at a time.
It's all about maintaining control, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Yep.
And you got to hope that if you do make it close at the end, that they will tighten up. They don't always,
Yeah.
but you got to hope that they do.
I have to say, I mean, your strategy and your observations are spot on. I think our Lucas doesn't.
I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years.
Yes.
20 years on the road. I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah, well, he tightened up a little bit. We saw him uncharacteristically miss a couple of balls that normally he'd never miss, or got out of position on a couple of balls toward the end. And you were just getting ever bigger and bigger in that rear view mirror, as we say.
You really turned it on in that 7-8 game stretch where you held him down. I mean, you gave him. I think he missed one ball. You gave no opportunities. And again, that's why we're happy to have you. I know it's such a big win, and I think you beat Fedor, right, as well early on, right? You knocked him into the 1-loss side.
Yeah, it was a race to 7 format. He wins the lag. He breaks and runs the first 3, and
again, always from behind. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So it's a great test to your character, though.
I win a game and I get back to 4-3, and he hangs a 9-ball at 4-3, and he concedes the game. And the tournament director comes over and says, "Hey,
That's
you can't
2 games.
concede the game." 2 games. So from there, I'm up 6-3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But
that made it a little bit easier.
One game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't gonna call anything, but it's on the TV match. The tournament director calls it. It's the right call.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and he obviously he went to the players' meeting, so he should know about that. Meanwhile, both of the finalists, yourself and Lucas, are 2 guys that beat Fedor. So feathers in the cap for both of you.
We actually played in match 1.
Yeah, you knocked him into the loose side. He had to come out at 7-2.
Oh, that's right. Early on, you played Lucas, right?
His first match, he actually. I came in looking for him, and he's in the bathroom, tucking in his shirt. He said he had just got there.
This sounds just exactly
like how Lucas right there.
That's how he rolls. He got out of the car, ran in, his shirt, and said, "Who am I playing?"
Unbelievable.
Perfect.
He sure did. I mean, I've seen him before. We speak. We're not enemies,
Yeah. No, I don't know if you remember. I talked to you in Sandcastle. It must have been about 2 years ago, maybe. And I said, "Hey, we're trying to get this kid to the next level." And you gave me a couple of things of advice, and we really appreciate it. You were very nice about it, and it was very cool. Thank you for that. So yeah, you've been very cordial, Lucas, and I think everybody.
Yep, very gracious.
Yeah.
I did a little tiny bit of intel. We can't find too much about you, but I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Does BG McGee's mean anything to you?
Yeah, man. I worked there from the time I was 20 till about 25 or 26. That's where I honed my skills, man.
That's where, right? So you remember now what town is that? Is that in Greensboro?
That's in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah. Okay.
I worked the pool register. I worked the pool register there for about 5 years.
Yep.
How often were you at the register compared to how often were you at the table?
Well, that's what I mean. They let me come in like 4 or 5 hours before my shift and play for free.
Perfect. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and then if road players came through on the slow days, then they would let somebody else work the pool register, and I would get to play.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Now, do you know somebody named Shannon Fitch?
Yeah, I know. I
Well,
know, Mr. Fish.
Let me hear what you know. What is that?
That guy is a killer, man. That
Yeah.
guy's a killer. Yeah.
Is he still playing down there?
No, he don't live here anymore. He's actually moved on
Okay.
to renovating houses, and I think he's got a female friend that buys houses and they renovate, and that's how they make their money now. But
Sure.
when I met him when he was young, he called himself Alvis.
Oh, that's great.
And he trapped off a bunch of road players. I'm telling you.
Oh, nice.
I love those kind of stories. We could sit down and do a separate interview on that sometime.
Yeah.
For sure.
What about a gentleman named, I love this name, and I've heard of him a few times, Chewbacca or Chewbacca.
Hey, Chew was the guy that I heard whispers about growing up about how he was the best player in the area, and
Yeah.
And when I finally met him, he's larger than life. He's full of the stories, man. I mean, they never stop, and they're super entertaining. He's really gotten older. As he gotten older, gotten to be a really good guy.
Yeah.
One of our people watched it. They think he's in Jacksonville right now. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they said.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, it's possible. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Shannon Fitch was hanging out in Jacksonville.
Or maybe that's what he's talking about. Yeah, maybe that's what he's talking about.
Well,
nice.
One of our regulars here on the Shark Stream, my co-host when we do some streaming is a fellow named Bobby Hunt. He was a road player, and he landed down there in Greensboro for quite a while.
Yep.
He had a lot of interest down in your area, and he always said those people down there had more gamble. He said it was like a flip between Baltimore and the Carolinas. He loved going down to the Carolinas. He actually considered relocating there. He enjoyed it so much.
I tell you, man, when I was younger, road players come through here, and they went right back home.
Well, not all of them, but I know that you had some tough action down there. You had some tough players.
Well, I'm talking about before me. I mean,
Yeah.
Before me, you had Keith Bennett, Sparky Farrell, Sam Mundy,
That's another,
Tony Watson.
Yeah.
You had Charlie Bryant used to live in Hickory, North Carolina.
Oh, is that where he was? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is before the internet. Guys come through here and they're like, "Man, we need to get out of here."
It wasn't as welcoming. Well, he said, Bobby said that there was a lot of money down there, especially when the tobacco harvests were getting done. He said, and a lot of these guys, they were just wealthy at that moment in time, and they'd come into town and they'd be, looking to spend and gamble and have a lot of fun, and so he and some people had some fun finding them. But I guess you had some stoppers in place down there waiting to trap them.
Twice a year, we have the international furniture market here too, and guys from all over the world with all kinds of come into the area to buy furniture because it's like the furniture capital of the world.
Sure.
Yep.
And they come into the area and they're just dumping money in the local spots. So I mean, twice a year you can catch some free money.
I'm sure you had your share of free money down there just playing everybody your tournaments. As many as you play, I'm sure.
For sure. It's the Bible Belt of, in my opinion, a pool too. Like you're 5 hours away from everything. So I mean, I can go 5 hours and be to Maryland. I can go 5 hours to be to Southern Georgia, or 5 hours to be to Tennessee. I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can go to a tournament every week.
So BJ, I have a question for you. Want to know what you're thinking about your possibilities of being on Mosconi Cup. You're rising up the list there at the moment.
You're number 4, I believe, for the Americans. And I think last year you were right about there, but you didn't play as many tournaments as you could have last year, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a part of me that believes that, and this is an unpopular belief, that believes that no matter what, they'll do what they need to do to get their guys on. There's a part of me that believes that.
Yep.
And this year they say that the top 3 is going to get on, but not every American can go overseas and play in tournaments overseas in order to acquire points.
Yeah, it's tough.
So if you're a Predator sponsored player, or you're a QTech sponsored player, or whatever, and they can help you get to there, don't you have an upper hand?
You have an advantage, sure.
Yep.
Right. So, and even invite only tournaments, they might have, QTech may have certain spots, Predator might have a number of spots, and those guys get those spots, whereas a regular guy might not.
Yep.
Fair enough, yeah.
We got a couple of questions here from our audience. One says, I guess they seen you take down Johnny Archer in a brass tap in 2001. You remember that?
Yes, sir. That was a tournament. That was a qualifier for the Trump International 10-ball tournament.
Okay. That's a
And
big
it was,
win.
yeah. I beat Johnny a lot of times early on in my career, but then he beat me 2 times and gave me the big 0.
Oh, wow. So you never forget that one, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about later on. He beat me
Oh,
7-0,
wow.
9-0, and let me know, hey, I do remember you beat me a bunch of times.
That's you guys have that fire. That's why you guys are where you are. And then another guy asked, do you plan on playing a little more matchroom points this year than you did last year? Being how you're playing fantastic, and like I said, if they take the top 3, you're right there. You're right for the taking.
Yeah, I actually I just texted Oscar about his tournament in Sacramento in a couple months. I had a couple people message me in the last few days that just basically said, hey, if we can help at all, we can't fund everything, but if we can help at all, we'll send you some money, and we like to see you do something. So we're going to look into going to the ones that I can. I mean, I have my passport. I can go anywhere.
Right.
But we're going to look into going to everywhere in the United States, even Sacramento. And, maybe I'll crush somebody's dreams. Who knows?
Nice. Hey, and we were having one here half an hour away at Jason Shaw's room. So if you need a place to stay, hit me up. We might be able to work something out for you, get you a nice place to stay and hang out while you're here. Maybe have a nice match, or you'll Lucas or something. To be a lot of fun. So we can talk about that as well.
That would be awesome, man. I mean, I'm down for anything. And when it comes to the young guys, if they talk to me, I'm as good as gold.
Yep.
But I like everybody to be treated equally.
Yep.
And
that's a big thing.
and you like to occasionally crush somebody's dreams.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that these guys, they sometimes they walk around with a little chip on their shoulder, like they're entitled.
Sure.
I've earned some respect in the 20 years I've been traveling like other guys.
Yeah.
You got to give them the respect they deserve.
Yep.
And I mean,
agree.
Some of us, what we do lack is motivation. You don't want to give us motivation to get out there and crush somebody's dreams.
Yeah, absolutely.
One other thing, and you don't have to mention, I don't care what it is, but I'm assuming you have a day job, right? You're one of these guys. You have to work and play pool, not as a hobby. I mean, it's a vocation also. But you strike me like that kind of a guy that you're also, working your 40 every week or thereabouts.
I was a restaurant manager for 21 years at the restaurant Chili's.
Okay.
And now, I do my own thing, mowing yards. Like I was joking with somebody this past weekend. I got straight off the mower and come up there to the tournament Friday.
That's perfect.
That's awesome. So are you sponsored by Q right now or no? Because we got to put you out there, man. You got to get yourself a sponsor. So you play fantastic.
Well, I mean, I chose to play with Predator equipment, and because the resale value is high, but also because they may not sponsor me, but they sponsor a lot of other players that go to events, and some of those players don't play my speed. So actually, if those players go to events and I win those events, in a roundabout way, they're sponsoring me.
You hear that, Predator? You might as well just cut the middleman and get this guy a call.
Absolutely. And anybody else, if you're looking for a good horse to put your patch on, this man might be the right guy.
So I try to buy products that those products actually put some money back into pool. That's good because eventually I'll get it. if I think I'm the best player and I'm winning events, eventually I'll get some of the money.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very, very good, good reasoning. I agree with you. I don't, I look at companies like Simonis, Aramis, Diamond. These guys are putting money right back into the sport. They're sponsoring so many tournaments. Why not use their products? And by the way, they happen to be great products too.
I have a diamond table in my living room.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we just saw it.
Yeah.
When we were walking
Yeah,
around
yeah.
before we started, we saw it. Yeah.
It took me a long time to get that, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah. They're not
I'm-
cheap. That's for sure.
They're not giving those
Yeah.
away.
No.
Not giving them away for sure.
Yeah.
Funny thing about my table is that me and Earl played a gambling session one time. He came to my hometown and told me that he could beat me giving me the 7. And we played a $5,000 match on this table. And he gave me the 7 and he played perfect for 8 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
we broke even at that time,
Yeah.
but he played absolutely perfect for about 8 hours to break even.
He's the man. I mean, he's the Michael Jordan. He's right from your era. You know the history. Like you said, that's one of the reasons why you played. And we actually had him here. He did a clinic this weekend,
2 days
and he's going
ago.
to be coming
Yeah.
back. He's I really like him, obviously. So I love you, North Carolina boys. Keep it up.
Yeah, you represent
I'm
me
a
very
big
well.
fan. I'm a big fan of Earl.
Yeah.
So I know he does, but I'm a big fan. Offensive wise, I
Yeah.
don't know if there's ever been better.
Yep. Yep. Amazing.
He's such a pleasure to watch because he doesn't take any time. He processes things really quickly, and he just gets right to it. He knows what to do next.
Really does.
And from a viewer standpoint, that makes the game beautiful. I won't name any names, but there's some players where you can go make a sandwich and come back and they're still thinking about the shot. That doesn't make for great television or streaming, does it?
Well, I have definitely been in those matches.
Yeah, yeah, you have.
Yeah, that takes a lot out of you sometimes, some of those guys. I do like the shot clock. It just makes a big difference. I wish there would be more shot clocks, actually. Did your event that you're in this week, there was a shot clock in every match, correct?
Yeah. There was a 30-second shot clock in every match. I mean, I think it's give and take. It was my second time ever dealing with it. I think there are some things we could do better. I don't necessarily think we need a shot clock. I think that it's the tournament director's responsibility to keep everybody in line. So if a guy's playing slow, it's the tournament director's responsibility to set him straight. Having a shot clock, my opinion, is just keeping the tournament director from having to do his job.
Yeah.
If you were up here, BJ, you'd love to be involved with the Joss Northeast Tour. They have a gentleman named Mike Zuglin who's been running it for quite a while. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He keeps things moving rapid fire. He keeps the tournament.
Doesn't take no crap.
Oh, no
Doesn't
crap
take no
from
crap.
nobody. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the way you have to be. I mean, I don't think you got to penalize the group by having a shot clock because you're trying to get 1 or 2 people to speed up.
Yep.
You just tell them speed up or forfeit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think that's the same way with the rack and stuff. I think. I mean, it's great that we have referees, but when the people are trying to do the little shady stuff, the tournament director should be like, "Hey, stop or go home."
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are a few people that do that for sure.
Yeah, in the tournaments that can afford to have the independent people racking, that's always a plus. I think it takes away a lot of the monkey business with the racking.
Yep.
Yeah,
I tipped the refs this past weekend. I tipped the refs when I let out of my purse because I think they needed to make a little extra money.
Nice.
I mean, they're there for 2 days straight. It's just like tipping a dealer at a poker game. Why not?
Yeah. And you being in the service industry, when you work hard, you deserve to get a little extra, right? That's how it works.
Sure.
When people work hard, you reward them.
Hey, and believe me, we give them hell.
They're earning their money, right?
We ain't the nicest people. They earned their money.
Hey, somebody mentioned to me that I should make sure and talk politics with you. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
We don't have time for that. I have two more questions from our
Said,
kids.
do not talk politics with me
Do
today.
not talk politics.
All right. So one guy asked, where can you watch the match? You can go to Upstate L. What is it? ABC TV.
AZB,
Yep.
yeah, AZB TV.
Did you get a spot for the U.S. Open yet? Are you in the U.S. Open?
I pay in the first 5 or 10 minutes. I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, in those events, I go ahead and pay and get it over with because I pay my own entry fees. You know, nobody really does anything for me like that. So I go ahead and pay them up front. And if I can't make it, then I'll just donate it to somebody else. Like the last one in Connecticut, the Matchroom event,
Yep.
I paid my entry fee months in advance.
Yep.
At the last minute, I couldn't go. I told the guy, Bo, I said, hey, just donate my entry fee.
Oh, the
to somebody
Massachusetts. That was Massachusetts. Oh, we missed you. That would have been nice if we saw you.
Oh,
there.
you were coming up.
I
to
got you.
one,
That was
yeah.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yep.
My father has like liver failure. He's been having trouble for about the last 6 months. So I really hadn't got that far away from home until this past weekend.
Right.
So when I realized I was going to have to be gone for 6 or 7 days, I just canceled at the last minute and told him, just donate my entry fee. I don't want my money back. You know, I appreciate you holding my spot. Give it to somebody who wants to play.
That's a classy thing to do, BJ.
Well, that's one thing. I've known you for a couple of years. We talk, football, and you're in our football league, but you're a stand-up guy 100%. Whatever you say, it is. You know what I mean? You're not going to beat around the bush, or you don't have to worry about nothing, no funny business with you, and I appreciate that.
Hey, did Lucas tell you about me telling him he's shooting the wrong ball in the tournament this weekend?
So we have a little issue with Lucas. We love the kid, but he's been out gambling and hitting the road even since he's been back. I haven't seen him. So I will ask him about that. I'm sure he will tell me. That was very nice of you.
You gave him a heads up, yeah?
First match, it's a pink 4-ball, right?
Yeah.
Pink 4-ball.
He has a set here, by the way, just so you know. He has that set here.
So
But okay.
he's shooting the pink 4-ball and the 3 balls on the table. And
Wow.
I say,
Wow.
I'm real loud. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? 3 balls on the table, man.
Yep.
Right? Because I don't want to be the guy that people talk junk about for not telling a guy.
Did your
Yeah.
backer walk up and smack you?
I back myself.
I don't think anybody's smacking this guy.
Too smackable, actually. Now that I think about it,
Oh man.
that's funny.
All
Oh,
right.
good on you to do that. That's very commendable.
All right.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
Very good.
going to give you a couple of things to look at real quick. Let's make sure. Can you see this real quick? So we got a couple of nice pictures of you. Can you see that there, BJ?
Oh yeah, that's Josh Parks' picture. Breaking in that picture.
Yeah, he's amazing. He does some pictures for the Shark Stream as well, and he got some really good shots of you.
You had a
Really
nice
good shots of
bend on
you.
the stick on that first picture.
Yeah, I know. And there's the man you took down. But yeah, great. That's a great photo right there. I mean, that says a lot right there.
Hey, look, listen, that is a nice pool room. The only downside to that pool room is table 1. You know, it's right there as people come in, but that is a nice pool room, and the food, unreal, man.
Nice.
I mean,
Nice.
it's as good as they come. And that Chris, he really tried his best to do everything he possibly could to keep things right.
Right.
You know, I mean, as far as keep things moving, keep things right, be nice to people. He bent over backwards.
Right.
And now this is Chris. Where? Why don't you give him a plug? Tell us again the name of the pool room.
Man, it's in Sterling, Virginia. How do I not know the name of the pool room?
Well, it's
Q
the
something,
pool room
right?
in
Q
Sterling.
or I'm not sure either.
Yeah, it's the Bob Stocks Memorial. I can't remember the name of the pool room for some reason.
Easy enough to track down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're super nice. It's upstairs. Like I said, 8 diamonds from the U.S. Open at about 10 years ago.
Yep.
Anthony is the owner. Always been super nice to me. Look, I beat him out of money gambling. He backed other people, and he's still super nice. Like most guys, if you beat them out of money, they're gonna be a turd.
A little salty
Have
for
a little
sure.
grudge. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but he was still overly nice when I beat him out of money.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. If you gamble, you should go into it that if you're really gambling, you should have a chance to lose or win. And if it comes out that you lose, on to the next case.
Yeah.
Don't be mad about it.
All right,
Yeah.
we're
I mean,
gonna
we've all had our times. You know, I'm older. I ain't been perfect in my youth. You know, but you got to do what you do, go more moving forward, and be as good as you can be. You know,
You're
Right,
trying to
absolutely.
finish it up strong, right?
that's right. I ain't got many years left, but we're gonna give it what we got.
Oh, you're not there yet. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, hopefully you got.
We do want to talk a little controversy. There was a little controversy in this event here. I want to know what your opinion was. Obviously, the last 8 people, right? It was 8 people that they put a draw out, and then they took it away and put another draw. I want to know what your take on that as being a player, and how did you get by that emotionally and psychologically, just to worry about who you're playing and not worry about that mumbo jumbo.
Okay, so my viewpoint of what happened. Okay, so 3 of the seeded players got beat and were not in the final 8 of the winner's side. Fedor, Jeremy Sosi, and Hunter Lombardo. So there's 3 non-seeded players in the winner's side. Sosi loses. That means there's 2 seeded players in the loser side. So there's 8 winners, 8 losers. The first draw came out, and all winners were playing each other, and losers were playing each other, just like the tournament continues.
So it's like a no redraw.
That was obviously wrong because we were told a winner was going to play a loser. Now, from there, I was watching Digital Pool and watching it update, and the draw that came up was similar to the final draw, but Fedor was playing Shane Wolford, and Josh Roberts was playing Gra Rasmussen. Okay, so the draw was exactly the same except for those 2 matches. Then 3 to 5 minutes later, Gra's name and Fedor's name switched places. So then Fedor went from playing Shane Wolford to playing Josh Roberts, and Gra went from playing Josh Roberts to Shane Wolford. And then that was the final draw. I even said when the first one came out that Shane was playing Fedor that I caught a break right there because Shane and Fedor played. The winner was probably going to play Tyler. So out of those 3 guys, I was only going to have to play one of them if I continued to win.
Right.
But
then magically 3 or 4 minutes later, Fedor's in a different match.
what do you attribute this to?
What was not excuse is the wrong word, but what was the reasoning?
I said something to Chris about seeing it, and he said that he had nothing to do with the redraw, that somebody that was there had everything to do with it, and that from what he understood, there was a mistake, that winners were playing losers and winners were playing winners, losers playing losers, and that they did it again. But he couldn't explain what I had seen.
The last 2 players, Fedor and Shane switching.
Flip-flop of those guys, yeah.
In my opinion, as a guess, they may not have wanted their seeded players playing each other in the first round of 16.
Yep.
In the redraw.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
keep the big name interest going. Yeah.
But when you lose, you can be seeded at the beginning. But when you lose, you lost that seed. Now when you're in the loser,
that's right.
Now when you're in the loser side, you can be put up against the number 2 seed in the redraw.
Why not? Yeah, sure.
Because
so
what happens?
Yeah, go ahead.
What happens if only 7? Like, let's say I beat Fedor and all other 7 seeded players make it to the winner side. Does that mean I have to play Fedor again?
Right.
Yeah, wouldn't that be rough, right?
Yeah, right. That'd be kind of a pickle, I think. You know what I mean?
So you just went ahead and you handled it the best way that you know how. You just won the tournament, went through everybody. I get what you're saying. That's tough action, and if it got flip flopped, there needs to be a better answer, I would think.
I went to Chris and I asked him, Josh Roberts is my friend. So is Pookie. And I told them what I saw, and I didn't think it was right. I thought the draw should have been done once we were all there, not before we got there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Transparency and all that. Yeah.
Right. But, I can only do what I can do. It wasn't like they were going to change it.
Right.
So I got to play from here.
Well, obviously people are fallible. There, a mistake could be made and you could forgive a mistake, but you don't want there to be ever any sense of impropriety, of any kind going on.
It takes a lot for you to, again, stay in that mental frame, because you've been seeing it. You could easily start thinking conspiracy, what's going on, all this other stuff. You didn't. You got down and you took care of business, and you beat heck of a players all the way to the finals. So, tell us a little bit, how were you able to get rid of that and just focus on the game and the balls that you were hitting?
Well, it's out of my control. I already told you when we first started that I think that they'll figure out a way for it to be their guys, and that kind of goes along with what I said I seen happen.
Yep.
Figure out a way for it to be their guys.
Yep.
Well, your first reference to that comment was to do with Mosconi Cup, and we did have a little taste of that here.
Which this is Mosconi Cup points.
Years ago, Jeremy Sassi was absolutely qualified to be on the Mosconi Cup team, and he was overlooked, and it left a lot of people in our area,
which he wasn't going to do it,
with a bad taste in our mouth. Well, what ended up happening was the coach for Mosconi, he had a couple of guys from St. Louis that he wanted on the team. They were less qualified, but he looked past that. So anyway,
it's set up so that that if you don't make them choose you by being in the top of the points, that it could be manipulated. Like Shane is going to eventually be number 1 in the points. Guy is probably going to go overseas and he's going to be number 2. So if you don't earn enough points to be number 3, then you're probably not going to get there.
You're at the mercy of who knows what, right?
And in all honesty, Shane should be the captain's pick every year. So there should at least be 2 or 3 other guys besides Shane that make it. But that's how that's how it is.
Yeah, how it shakes out now is he always comes up a winner on points, and then the captain has a separate pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so it comes down to, Sky's going to go overseas. Shane's going to go overseas. Now, Shane Wolford is going overseas and playing in some tournaments too.
Sure.
So you might have to win a couple tournaments in the United States to get that 3rd spot.
Yep. Well, you just did that, and that's a big win. These matchroom events are not easy to win. Again, that's a big win, and we hope you continue to play in all of them, because we want to see you there. We like the fire that you have, and we know you got the talent. Just amazing. That I watched. Last four matches, you just played magnificent the whole tournament.
I appreciate it, man. What was really amazing to me was that I broke so well. That's only my 3rd tournament breaking from the box.
Yep.
And with the 9 on the spot. And I went through some videos of watching Tyler break. And, I think Tyler has one of the best breaks, and Fedor and a couple other guys, and just tried to take as much as I could from the videos that I saw on YouTube and just do it.
Yeah, what you're talking about is something that a lot of young players need to be aware of. They should be doing the same thing. Watch what's successful and absorb it like a sponge. You've got YouTube at your fingertips, and go on there and look at all the top people, the elite players, and try to emulate some of what you're seeing.
Well, one of the things I think we need to do as Americans too, in order to compete, because we haven't been able to compete, is that we got to be more about helping each other. In America, there's not a lot of big tournaments, so we're all about ourselves. We don't want to help another guy because it takes money out of our own pocket.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, I have trouble practicing with other guys that play my speed because they don't want to help me. Because if they help me, they feel like they're taking money out of their own pocket.
That goes back to old school back in the day where like our guy Bobby Hunt we're talking about where the old guys they didn't even teach the younger Americans. They never anybody. They didn't teach anybody anything. You had to learn it. You know,
That's right.
it's a little different now.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying.
You know, they had
We almost have to tag team and partner up and help each other
Yep.
so that we can play and grow with at least one other person.
reminds me of that old saying, BJ. I taught you everything you know, but not everything I know. Yeah.
I mean, you see some of the
keeps them back.
Europeans, they travel with a playing partner.
Yeah,
You know,
we had two
What-
guys here from Spain, Jonas and Alberto, and yeah, they pretty much practice together, play together, you know, come in tournaments. But again,
Look
they're
out
getting
for each other.
sponsored by their
Yeah.
country, like their country's giving them money to go out and do this.
Well,
Big
back in the
difference.
when I was out traveling, this is way back when. One of the first little duos that I ever seen together was Corey and Alex, and I remember watching them watch each other in matches. And after the match was over, Alex would come and tell Corey, "Hey, I think you should have shot this shot in this situation," and Corey would tell Alex the same thing, and they grew together.
Yep.
Yep, valuable info. Yeah, sure.
And I think you got a little bit of experience with this as well. Didn't you win a national APA Masters Championship? We won.
did.
You know, I won two as well. You know that, right? Our
Yeah.
team, yeah, we won two as well. But they still say that's what our team did. Every time there was a shot, we talked about it. Every single match, every time we talked about what you should shed, maybe this. You know, touch us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like the team. I like the team stuff. I think it does pretty good, but you can't be individuals. You have to, even if you don't like each other. You know, like I played on a team with a couple guys that we weren't friends, but in that situation, we talked to each other and we helped each other.
Yep.
You know, because we wanted to win that little tournament more than we disliked each other.
Yep.
And that's just the way. And the only way we could win is if we all played on the same team.
Yep. Absolutely. It is a big part of it. That's exactly what you're saying. We do as Americans need to do that.
That team you had, y'all were pretty tough.
Yeah, we won back to back. It was we had a great team, and we had exactly what you said. We gelled, we talked. I was obviously the weakest link, but I was a captain, and you know, we talked about it. We hung out together. We really enjoyed each other's company. We're still together. We still play. You know, we really love each other as a group for sure.
And besides
Y'all had a
success,
couple
you had
underrated-
fun.
You had a couple underrated players too. The guy that had the foot cast on was a really good player.
That's my nephew, Rob Pierce, a great player. He's a solid. He just came in second at the Philadelphia Expo and the Open, the amateur. You definitely can play. We got Phil Davis, a good player, and then Dave Gavish. My whole team was stacked, and as was yours. You know what I mean? You guys had.
Yeah.
I think you had 3 700 Fargos, right, on your squad, or no? Close.
Well, now,
Now,
if you look at
yeah.
them now they probably are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've won tournaments way back before. Now, I mean, I won.
I got a
won
couple
one-
here. Did you win the Maryland State 10-ball bar box, right? 2021?
Yeah,
You won
yeah.
the
That's in the last 3 or
DMV.
4 years.
Yeah, DMV 10-ball in 22. The Super Cut 10-ball, you won that as well, right?
Yeah.
And you beat
I won-
Efren Reyes too, right?
There was 2 Efren comeback tour tournaments, one in Greenville and one in Aiken, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I beat Efren 3 matches in a row. I won both of those tournaments. I beat I wasn't Efren, but it was another Filipino in the final. But even before that, 2005, I won the Florida State Pro 10-ball tournament.
Yeah.
You know,
Was that the one that was sponsored by the Seminoles?
yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, not many people have those trophies. I promise
No,
you.
absolutely not. Like I said, that's why you won this Bob Stocks Memorial Tournament was stacked full of stars. To win that, not come in second, not come in third, to win it is a huge deal. You know, that was one of the main reasons I wanted to get you on. But you know, another time we'll get you on to talk politics and other stuff. But right now, we just want to get you on to talk about your ability to play because, man, you showed it. You really showed it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's a real pleasure to meet you online here. I've never spoken with you before. Spoken with you before. It's a real pleasure. You seem like a real genuine Southern gentleman.
I appreciate that, man. Like I say, the biggest thing for me when I come out is that I want to be treated equally. I don't even like the seedings.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
even if I benefit from it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
because in order to grow pool, we need more players, right? Seeding brings less players. We need 256 players at events.
Yep.
Not people not coming because they're seeding the best players.
Right.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, the more people, more money.
Just show up and play. Let the chips
That's right.
fall. Let the chips fall where they do.
What's funny to me is that a lot of the guys that are the best players now, they didn't overcome the seedings of the generation before them. When they started coming to the U.S. Open and tournaments, they were open draws.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they could have got a good draw in one tournament. Now they get seeded and get an easier run to the finals so they can stay at the top longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah, right.
It seems a little unjust. It does, but it's been around for quite a while. But I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
I mean, I can see the positives too. You want to reward guys who travel and play in some of the tournaments, and maybe people want to watch those guys play too. But there's a good player in every town, guys. In every state,
right.
there's a good player you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't mind the electric chair approach. I really don't. Play under pressure right from the start.
Hey, the cream will rise whether you do it seated or not.
Absolutely right on that fact.
It does
It usually
tend to do
does for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what's your next big tournament that you're going to play?
We have a Ron Park Memorial Tournament. I don't know if anybody remembers Ron Park, but he was a U.S. amateur winner. He was a good player in North Carolina. This is his second year. It's in Gastonia, North Carolina, at West End Billiards.
Okay.
They're going to add $5,000. It's just a race of 7 on the bar table. 128 players.
Wow.
Really nice spot that's just opened up. So I'm gonna be there at the end of the month.
They're the diamond bar tables. The diamonds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
diamond bar tables.
Yeah.
This weekend we may go to Virginia State bar table championship in, I want to say, Chesapeake. But
Okay.
I just try to go to regional events to try to make some money, and then take that money and parlay it, whether in a Predator event or the Bob Stocks event or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, BJ, I have a question for you, just for personal knowledge. There was a place that had opened up, and I don't know where in North Carolina, but it was North Carolina. I'm betting you'll know what I'm talking about when I say the name. This guy used to own a room up in Ohio. He had success. He retired, and he came down and was opening up a pool room down in Carolina. And when I tell you this was the biggest, most amazing pool room I think I've ever seen, they posted when they were finally opening it up, they posted a video taken by a drone. This place was so big, they had a drone flying around. And I mean, there must have been 200 tables, a bunch of bar boxes too. And they had a bar that was a huge granite horseshoe. And the name of it was Chanley's Q and Brew. Did you hear of that place? And it opened up, and it was closed, I think, within a year. Do you know what happened there?
I went there a couple times. It was in Statesville, North Carolina.
Statesville, okay.
Yeah, it's not a real big town, but it's in between Winston-Salem and Hickory.
Yep.
I think the place was too big, too many tables. It was like an old Roses or Kmart.
Yeah, it was like a shopping center.
Right,
Yeah.
It's got to be big. It might be too big. People don't like too big, I don't think, or we're not there yet.
Oh my God, but it was done nicely. I mean, it was a beautiful place.
It was super nice, but there was only pool tables. Like, there wasn't TVs at every 2 pool tables so that you could do NFL football or basketball or have like watch parties or whatever. Yep. It was just basically the pool tables, and that's not what pays the bills.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to have good food. You got to have good food down here. I'm telling you, man, fat boys pay the bills.
You're looking at a couple right here, right, Chicken?
I'm paying the bills usually. Yeah.
I mean, it ain't nothing to spend $50 on dinner, guys, right?
That's right. 50, for a good dinner, it's definitely worth it for sure.
Some places up here, that's breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the info on Chanley's. I Hope they didn't take it too much on the chin at the end.
All right, we're
No,
gonna just
I
do a couple.
remember. I
Go ahead.
remember the place. I remember the place. They had good events and good people. No, it was just a distance away from everything, and there wasn't any big pool league there or anything.
Something to keep
just
the
a
revenue
spot.
going.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
All right. A couple quick things before we let you go. One thing is what do you think about the sport of pool right now? Do you think it is actually growing? Do you see an uptick in your area? Do you see more money involved as a pro that you are? Which way do you see it going and why?
I think it's going in a positive direction. I mean, even though there's some things that I don't like about the way things happen with Matchroom, they are doing good things. They're probably going to have a tour in the next couple of years. Predator is trying to do their own little tour too, and they're getting better. They adjusted the race to 4, and the young guys are they're good guys. Even though I don't get along with all of them, Shane Wolford is a good guy. Lucas is a good guy. They're the cookie cutter type that everybody likes, and they don't cause no drama. They don't cause no trouble. So I think it is on the uptick. Hopefully I'll get in on the beginning of it, make some of the money that they're going to put into things. But I think it's on the rise. I think tournaments are going to come back, and that we'll be able to make some money in the United States in the next decade playing in tournaments, and I hope it goes really well. Yep. I mean, I do. I think we're on. It goes up and down over years. The gambling's good, and that's the best, and then the gambling's not so good, and the tournaments are better.
Sure.
So.
Well, from your mouth to the pool god's ear, and I like what Emily Fraser. She's got a good head on her shoulders, and she has a lot of good ideas, and hopefully our sport will start paying the guys what they're worth, what they deserve. So.
I agree with her in a lot of the things that she does,
Yeah.
And she knows about the promoting of it. I mean, sometimes they don't have to have the best players in the United States, but they promote it like it is.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely right. Make it so you make it, I guess, right?
And also being controversial is good for promotion.
Yep.
So all of us talking about who should make it and who shouldn't make it, who deserves it, is good for them.
Not hurting anything at all.
Bringing Trump into the U.S. Open, remember that? That was a big deal. It was talked about more than important than any drama happened on the table.
Yeah.
Remember the snooker player, they brought Trump in for the U.S. Open and
Judge
made
Trump,
a big deal of it.
And he had a good time.
What they've done also is bring in a casual fan. And that casual fan can be aggravating at times because they don't really know the sport, but they're interested. So sometimes you just got to overlook their opinions, because the more that we have that they like the game and watch, the better for all of us. So just let it go. Let some of it go.
Well, BJ, I look at what Matchroom's been doing with snooker. Look at some of the paydays those guys are getting in the sport of snooker. Even darts, they're paying an amazing amount of money. Over here, I joke around about it a lot, but I'm only half joking because I am a little bit rubbed the wrong way. When I look at ESPN, I tell the guys on stream here occasionally. A few weeks ago, I was watching on Saturday morning, they had rock skipping. That was a sport that they were showing, skipping rocks on a pond. And then what came on right after that ended was belt sander races. And I said, "Are you kidding me? We can't get pool on ESPN."
We're going to get it there. We're going to get it there.
Yeah.
But I think it's heading in the right direction. I think a lot of notice is underway.
All right, we're going to let you go. One more last question is actually something for you. Anything you want to say before we head out there, BJ? Anything you want to say? Obviously, we're going to try to share this and get this out there. Talk to Predator, talk to all the cue makers, get you sponsored. But anything you want to say before you cut this off?
No, I just want to say to everybody, hey, I appreciate everything, the people messaging me, just everything about the win, but just focus on putting the attention back in pool. All the companies sponsor somebody, do something to help somebody out, even if it's not me. because it ends up helping the best players in the end. And guys like me, I appreciate it whether you do something for me or you do something for somebody else. You know?
Yep.
I've not always had that view, but that's my view now.
Nice.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Well done, and thank you very much for your time, BJ. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing more. Looking forward to seeing more of you. I think you're going to be on. Maybe Millen and Mike might be coming on too, right? You're going to go on that show. You need to get out there as much as you can because you're a great ambassador to the sport. You know, you really put thought into what you say and what you mean, and we really appreciate you, BJ.
I appreciate it too, guys. Hopefully, I see you guys soon.
Yeah, like I said, hit me up if you want to play in Connecticut. We could probably work something out, and or at the Jason room. All right.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right. See you later.
Take care, BJ.
Bye.